to Train Like a Norseman Tuesday here at Luther College. Every Tuesday at Luther, we get together with our wrestlers and do individual training sessions with a coach, working on technical things they need to get closer to being a champion. During this series of Train Like a Norseman Tuesday videos, we're going to give you technical tips to help you become closer to becoming a champion.
This time of the year, we really like to start focusing on riding and pinning. We're getting into the dual meet season, and dual meets, pin can really break open a dual meet and get the team rolling and get us a lot of points. So we like to start off with the wrist curl here. When I have a wrist curl, I gotta get that wrist on his back before I can get that arm bar. Okay? What I like to do to get this wrist curl out is I use my forearm here as a lever. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take my forearm, I'm going to use it as a lever into the top of his arm here, right between his bicep and his tricep, to put all that force right there on his shoulder. So what I'm doing is I'm taking this wrist curl, I'm running my feet towards his head. Right here, if you get over this side, you see right here, I'm using my forearm to really pry on his tricep right here. I'm lifting up right here, twisting on his elbow. All my weight of my body is right here on that forearm. Okay? So if he's holding that arm in there real tight, I come out here, I rotate my hips up to the ceiling, I work both hands onto that wrist, trying to grab his fingers or his wrist and twist, pushing all my weight right there on his shoulder. This nice long lever right here. Then as soon as I get that wrist to come out, I'm going to take it to the back, I'm going to follow by walking it around. Right here, when I get up on top here, I like to pinch him with both my knees right here, keeping all his weight on his body right here, nice and tight. Okay? You see, I never let go of that wrist right here. And I'm pinching and lifting with that near knee right there to create a little space to put that bar in. Right here, I'm switching hands off so my bar hand can go nice and deep. My bar hand goes as deep as I possibly can get it. If I can go elbow deep right here, I want to go elbow deep. A nice long bar is going to be easier to turn a guy than a short bar. Now, an important part right here is I don't want to just let go of this wrist because a guy that's real tall and skinny a lot of times can limp out of that. So when I got that wrist on the back and I got this bar nice and deep, I want to take this hand, put it to his side, and pinch it with my knee right here. Okay? That way I'm securing my nice deep bar. Okay? From then what I'm going to do is I want to jump to that bar side. Okay? So I'm going to jump to that bar side, getting my bottom knee underneath here. Okay? My bottom knee goes underneath, pointing towards his head. That bar I want to stick right in between my chest and my armpit right here. Secure it nice and tight. Obviously, if I can get a wrist, I want to get a wrist. A lot of times here, when I get this bar, that guy keeps his arm away. So all I'm going to do is I'm going to thread my hand right underneath his armpit here. With this leg being low here, I'm going to start to rise up and drive. I drive, drive, drive. Okay? Keeping my arm in here nice and tight. If I don't get that wrist, it's perfectly fine. I want to go from here, I'm going to drop my shoulder down and my elbow towards his head. This hand that was in nice and tight here inside is just going to come around his waist nice and tight. Right here. Elbow to the head. Sinking down. Keeping my arm nice and tight on that waist right there. Okay, so I'm going to end up with a real shallow bar with my elbows going straight to his head. So once again, the whole thing, going from that wrist curl, I got the wrist curl, I'm working towards the head, my hips are going to the ceiling, I'm using my arm as a lever here. Working up on that joint. Grabbing 2-on-1 here, walking to the back, coming back around, pinching it with my knees. I lift this outside knee up so I can get my bar in elbow deep if I can. Replacing that wrist to the side, pinching it. Right from here, a lot of times is where I'm going to be able to grab that wrist. Right here, I lower my level and grab that wrist when it's in. Okay, so if his wrist is close right here, I'm going to attack that wrist right away. If not, like before, he keeps it out. I'm going right underneath his armpit, dropping my bottom leg through, putting that elbow right in between my chest and my tricep right here, or my armpit right here. Nice and deep bar. If he brings that arm in close, I'm attacking that wrist. All I'm going to do is I'm going to rise up, getting on my toes, drive into that near shoulder, that far shoulder pins the mat. As soon as that far shoulder pins the mat, I readjust, dropping low, dropping my elbow to his head. Grabbing his lat right here, pulling my elbow into his butt, stacking them up right there for the fall. Hooking this here at the finish if I can, right there. That's the wrist curl to the arm bar.
Thank you.